Okay, so when you start getting hiking and you start getting into backpacking, there's a few mistakes that you can make, and they're very, very easy to solve. Now, we always like prioritize. So my priority in life is always my feet, because I'm using them all the time. So if you get hot spots, sort out your feet immediately. If you're getting any pain in your foot, stop, have a rest, sort your feet out. It might just be your socks are scrunched up a bit in your shoes. It might just be you've tied your laces wrong and it's just tight in one area. Or it might be the start of a blister. Now, it's always better prevention than cure. So sit down, get your socks off, have a look at your feet, have a look at the hot spots, sort them out early. Okay, next tip when you're backpacking is pack your kit properly. Now, there's a twofold thing in this. One is only bring exactly what you need. So I've got my full camping kit. It's for an overnight on my back at the moment. I've only bought exactly what I need. There's nothing else that I want with me. Yeah? I've gone what I like to call minimalist. Just bring exactly what you need. The second one on it is don't have things hanging off your backpack. You see backpackers with a frying pan hanging off, or a cup hanging on the outside of their rucksacks. Don't do it. Why not annoy the living hell out of you after a while, because the noise of it bouncing against your rucksack. It's not particularly fun. Secondly, it's uncomfortable. Your weight, what you want to think is like, if you hold a glass of water at arm's length for a very long time, that starts to hurt. If you hold it close to your body, that moment is taken away and you can hold it for a longer time. If you've got things swinging around, moving your rucksack about, the extra weight is going to cause you to wobble as you walk. And over time, over 20, 25 miles, that'll start annoying your natural walk and how you walk. It's probably give you some blisters, and the noise will annoy you, but also the swinging of your rucksack will annoy you. Pack everything in your rucksack, get it sorted out. Okay, next one, water replenishment. So, whenever you've got water bottles on you, and I got told this when we were running the Marathon des Sables, never ever drink your last bit of water until you can see or you are at the next water replenishment place. That could be a stream, could be a river, whatever it is, tap in a town, whatever it is. Do not use your last bit of water till you're physically there or can physically see it. That means you've always got water on you, you're not actually going to run out. All right. Right, the next one is treats. Every single day you're going to get boring food. It's going to be dehydrated. It's going to be whatever you can get on the trails, and pastas you're always going to eat. They're cheap, they're nice food. But what about having a treat? If you're bored of your food, or just the trail sucks, you know, you're soaking wet through, you're losing your motivation. Now, Christina's going to hate me for this. Always carry Haribo. I have a little bag of Haribo and I eat some now and then just to keep my morale up. It's a good tip. Treats on the trail. Okay, next big tip. If you're going to go out and do a trail and you're going to prepare to, let's say, walk 20 miles a day, and you're going to go out for 4 days and you haven't done any training at all, you're not going to make it. It's the same with everything in life. Prepare for what you're about to do. Now, I'm preparing, this is just a walk we're going on, this is just a nice day out, and I've got a full rucksack with all the kit I need for about 2 or 3 days on my back. If I was going to do 20 miles a day for over a 4-day period or so, I'd at least be practicing for a few weeks before every day, walking a quarter of that. That's at bare minimum. So if I want to do 20 miles a day, I've got to practice at a bare minimum with full kit for 5 or 6 miles. I'd be trying realistically to add some other bits of training in there. Do a 20 miler. See how you feel after it. You want to be trained up, you want to be prepared for what you want to do, backpacking and hiking, with knowing that your fitness level is okay. Also, you've got to remember to add some extras onto that. You want a buffer, because Oh, lovely, some birds. Because at the end of your hike, you're going to have to put up your tent, get your sleeping bag out, blow up your inflatable sleeping pad, cook for yourself. It's not going to be the same, and it's still going to be dragging energy away from you. So you need a good reserve. Prepare for your hikes, prepare everything as best as possible, practice your hikes, and you'll be fine. Okay, so the next one is on preparation of equipment. Preparation of equipment, you've bought all your Gucci camping equipment, your tent, your sleeping pad, your cooker, and it's still got its labels on, and you go into the wild, you have to take the labels off and find out how you're going to use stuff. In the army, we used to say 7 Ps. Prior planning and preparation prevents piss poor performance. I still laugh at that today because it's still in my head and I still remember it. If you're buying all this Gucci kit, make sure you know how to use it. Practice putting up your tent, practice using your stove. You can do this at home, by the way. You can sleep in your living room. Your partner will probably laugh at you for sleeping on the floor or sleeping in a tent in the living room, but at least you know your really expensive equipment you've just gone out and bought works and you know how to use it. Okay, next tip, keeping your kit dry. Now, I've seen some videos on YouTube about this and they say, oh, you can use a pack liner, but don't use the bag. You know, when you buy a rucksack, they've got the rucksack waterproof cover. Don't use that because you can use a bag inside. Now, I've done a lot of hiking and backpacking and I've done it a lot in the rain. Now, if your straps here get wet, if your fabric material of your backpack gets wet, it gets heavier. So what I recommend, and I always, never, ever rely on one thing to do its job. I always have a safety and a backup. I use an internal pack liner. I use a rubbish bag. It's very cheap. You can replace them, like I said. Then, inside my pack liner, I've also got these little waterproof bags that you can find on Amazon, super cheap. And I separate warm clothing into one, and I separate other things, you know, socks into another one, things like that. So it's always waterproof. Plus, most of the waterproof over bag liners are stitched into the bag when you buy them, or they're velcroed on them. You're already using it, you're already carrying it. So put your pack liner or your pack cover over your rucksack anyway. That means you've got everything in waterproof bags inside, so nothing's going to get too wet there. It's then in a pack liner that weighs, I don't know, 40 grams for a bin liner. It's nothing. And then you're already carrying the cover to your rain cover for your rucksack. That's 3 levels of security that I know I've always got dry equipment. And especially using the rucksack rain cover stops you having that extra weight in your straps or in the water and it getting into the fabric of your material of a rucksack, and your rucksack getting heavier.